gets enough attention. I'm going to talk about TNA Impact tonight, and it was an okay show for the most part. It had a lot of stuff I didn't like, it had some stuff I liked. I guess my cat doesn't. And then stuff in the middle. So I was going to do like top 5 things I liked, top 5 things I disliked, but I found a lot of it was kind of in the middle, like some of it I liked, didn't like. It's kind of like tug of war or something when, you know, both teams are getting closer and closer to the mud or whatever, and eventually someone winds up going in it. So, but before that happens, they're stuck in the middle. So, I like that old classic rock song goes, stuck in the middle with you, or whatever. So, I'm gonna go into what I disliked about the show, and then into the middle, and then to the good things I liked. So, things I disliked about the show, didn't like at all. Let's start with the whole Bully Ray, Taz, Mike Tenay little promo thing. Basically, Bully Ray was angry that Tenay and Taz couldn't show the footage because the network said it was too violent or whatever. And then Bully Ray and Taz were arguing about it, and then Ray was threatening to slap Tenay or something, and Taz was like, "You're not gonna slap anybody. You're not gonna slap anybody." Then he walked away or something. So I didn't really like that because, you know, how was Bully Ray like? If he punches Taz, how is that really doing anything to the whole storyline? Is it just because he's showing that he's a bully or whatever? I don't know. I don't really care about that. You know, I don't mind Ray and Devon doing their singles things, but, you know, I'd like them to kind of maybe move him on from this whole Devon thing, but I guess it's a big deal to powerbomb your son through a table or something. I don't know. I don't really care for this storyline. They need to move on from it. I didn't like the Kurt Angle, Jeff Jarrett, Karen Angle stuff. I used to like this storyline. Now I don't give 2 craps about it. I must admit the ending of it, like, toward the end of it was like, basically throughout the show, it was like, Jarrett and Angle were like, you know, yeah, we're gonna do this today and it's gonna be great. We're gonna do this today, it's gonna be great. And then at the end of the show, like, they went out to a restaurant for food or something. Which is funny, because, like, during the show, Karen Angle was, like, so, like, amazed with Caesar salad, but it's like, Caesar salad is just lettuce and, like, some Romano Parmesan cheese and croutons and Caesar dressing. It's really simple. You know, I don't think it's really, like, worth, like, you know, orgasming about a Caesar salad. That's just my opinion. So, but anyway, like, at the end of this whole segment, Kurt Angle, like, I guess, cooked them, or he paid the cooks at the restaurant or something, like, to prepare, like, the shitty meal for him to ruin their dinner. And then makes an appearance, and then they take off running from him or something. So I didn't really like that. And plus, they were showing, like, throughout the show, like they were calling it, like, via satellite or live via satellite. But then they were at the restaurant, like, in 5 minutes eating, like, they're pretty much, like, almost done eating their meal. So, I mean, if they're gonna have, like, you know, a filet mignon and, like, I don't know, a fish with crab meat or something like that, to me, it would take, like, at least a good 15-20 minutes to actually prepare that meal, / kind of like, you know, you get there, you decide what you want to eat, and then you have to wait for the food to cook and the service and all that stuff. To me, that would take about 20 minutes to actually get to your meal versus, like, it being there. So it didn't really make much sense to me. So that was another thing I disliked. I didn't like the Pope Samoa Joe promo. Basically, just Pope. It was Pope standing in the ring, like, with a little Hawaiian thing, and he has, like, this cooked pig on the table. And then Joe comes out and kicks his ass and puts him through a table, like, with the Muscle Buster. I guess that was okay, but it's so stupid. It's like they don't have anything else there to feud on than just Pope calling Joe Sloppy Joe, and that's it, you know? Like, there's really no need for this feud. You know, Joe beat him at the pay-per-view, move on, you know? I don't understand why they keep both guys, like, trapped underneath the frickin', you know, mouse trap. Anybody remember that game, that little thing where the mouse traps the mouse? Yeah, I don't know why they keep them trapped under that stuff. I think that was about all the stuff I hated about the show. Now we're gonna kind of go into the middle of this middle ground stuff. The Douglas Williams Hernandez matchup, I put that kind of like in the middle. I like that they gave Hernandez, like, you know, the push as being like, you know, badass, not really a monster, but like a badass character or whatever. You know, him hurting people, destroying people. It's like he's playing a heel turn now. And in a sense, this heel turn does make sense because it was Matt Morgan that put him on the shelf in the beginning. And you know, I can see him playing, you know, to the crowd that they didn't support him coming back or whatever. Well, I think he called the crowd gringos or something at the pay-per-view anyway or something, I don't know. But you see what I'm saying, though. So from a heel sense, it kind of makes sense, but I don't know. But I didn't like that Douglas Williams got, like, no offense in the match at all. I understood he got jumped coming out to the ring, but he should have got a little offense in. Though that board toss he took was pretty sick, though, so... In the middle, I think Douglas Williams should have got some offense in. Robbie P. Kazarian. I don't like Robbie P. Their match, like, for the 3 minutes it went was okay, I guess, but it ended in a DQ. It was nice to see Tracy Brooks back. Like, she's pretty much, like, on Kazarian's side. Like, I think they're married in real life or something. And, she was, like, getting back at Cookie for Cookie, like, causing the DQ, because, well, there's what I guess I didn't like. Cookie hit Kazarian with a silver-looking travel bag or something, I don't know. I suppose the bag had some bricks in it or something, I don't know, but she hits him with that, causing the DQ. So, I didn't like the DQ, and I didn't like that part, but it was nice seeing Tracy back, so stuff in the middle. Let's see, the Matt Hardy AJ Styles match. Could have been longer, I would have liked to have seen that. You know what was weird in this match before I go into it? AJ Styles did like this, he did his awesome, you know, like, flip dive to the outside on Hardy, which was awesome. But he was wearing, like, white pants when he come out to the ring. Then they showed the replay of that, then we come back and he's got red pants on. So does he, like, put on 2 pairs of pants and then take a pair off when he gets out there or something? Or did he, like, spray paint his pants red instead of white? Or something? That was kind of strange. But anyway, back to the match. Could have went longer. For what it was okay. Pretty much, like, Hardy, like, wound up fighting back a little bit. Like, he knocked AJ, like, under the guardrail, which was, like, kind of a sick bump AJ took. Like, his jaw, like, hit it pretty good from, like, on camera. And then, Hardy took over for a while. And then AJ started fighting back a little bit, and AJ, like, you know how he does, like, that super quick drop kick? Well, Hardy, like, slipped, like, when he was running, so it looked kind of sloppy, like, on his part. So, it's interesting because it's like, I guess TNA's kind of like so-so with Hardy. Like, I guess he's okay backstage, but they're worried about his wrestling capabilities or something. So, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning toward him not being a good wrestler anymore. I used to stand up for him and say he was a good wrestler, but now I'm starting to think opposite or whatever. But anyway, the finish was, like, predictable, though. Like, Ric Flair pushed AJ, like, off the top rope or something when AJ was going for a springboard move behind the ref's back, and then Hardy hits a twist of hate and pins him. So, and then they start beating him down until Fortune makes the save. So, it was kind of predictable, and I guess AJ challenged Flair to a match next week, so we'll see how that goes. In the middle, I mean, the match itself would have been fine without Flair being there, and it would have been nice to have it be longer. So, is there any more stuff in the middle? Nah, that's about it. So now we go into the stuff I liked about the show. Pretty much, knockouts made the show good this week. Oh, before I go into that, though, the one thing I didn't like, that the knockouts did was during the Hernandez-Douglas Williams match, like, Sarita and Rosita came out with Hernandez, and, like, they showed, like, the camera at him, and then they were calling Velvet, like, a loser or something, and not even, like, 5 minutes later, she come out and starts, like, attacking Sarita, and then Rosita, like, pulls her off, and then Angelina Love comes out, and they're brawling during this match is going on. So, number one, it takes away from the match going on, but number two, that philosophy is kind of strange. I mean, I can understand you could be, like, backstage watching a monitor, watching the show or something, you know, but it's going to take you at least a few minutes to, you know, probably walk from this portion of the building to get there, you know? So, that's like me, like, saying right now, you know, Mike Tyson, you're a piece of shit, and I can kick your ass, and then maybe 2 minutes later, the doorbell's going to ring, I'll open the door, and he punches me right in the face and knocks me unconscious. So how did he hear me within 2 minutes of me saying this, you know? I mean, I gotta post this video on YouTube. Maybe he might find it, and then, you know, that's kind of where I'm going with that logic. But anyway, back to the matchup. So, we had Sarita. Well, the thing I liked first was the backstage promo with Velvet, Angelina Love, and Winter. I love this whole storyline between them. You know, like Winter's obsession with Angelina or something. Eventually, I'm pretty sure she's gonna wind up wanting to destroy Angelina because Angelina won't love her or, you know, cherish the things they do. But still, I like the storyline. They're doing a very good job with it. So that's one thing I liked. And then later on, we had Rosita and Sarita versus the Beautiful People, a tag match. And I liked this matchup because it was actually given like a little bit more time. And, I mean, like the match wasn't spectacular, but it was given a little bit more time. So, and then the finish of the matchup basically was like, Sarita pinned Velvet again, but like what happened was, she like had her feet on the ropes for like up to about maybe a 2 count, and then like Rosita like held her Sarita's feet down for the 3 count. So once again, Sarita beats Velvet. So still pushes that storyline. And I guess like I don't know if it's gonna be next week, but it's gonna be Sarita versus Velvet. And I guess Velvet's gonna put her career on the line or whatever. And I guess that's something I don't like, but that's just the whole TNA whatever, you know. You have to put your career on the line to do something, you know? If I went to my job and said, alright, if I don't win this, I'm gonna put my career on the line here, and then if I lost, I get fired. I wouldn't be able to come back, I don't think, unless they didn't take me seriously or something. I don't know. So, another knockouts thing I liked was, even though it was a short and sweet promo, was Madison Rayne and Tara, and Madison issues an open challenge to any woman in the world to come fight her or something. So, I like her whole queen little story, how she's like the knockout queen or whatever. And I'm not gonna spoil it, but next week, like somebody is gonna make a return, and it's interesting. So I'm curious to see where they go with it. So, but I think that was pretty much the knockouts. Another thing I liked, I loved Anderson's promo. Like he came out, he was all pissed off about how Bischoff like didn't put him as like the challenger tonight for the world title matchup. So Bischoff comes out, and then Anderson's like, you know, why am I not in the match? And then Bischoff basically says, you know, the network signs the checks, and they did this and that, and then Anderson, like, he makes Anderson, like, the special referee, and he, like, mic checks Bischoff, so that was cool. And then, main event was pretty good, too. Well, I hated with the main event that they should have saved this for a pay-per-view. Like, the overall RVD versus Hardy storyline itself has been pretty good. I'll give him that. Like when Abyss was attacking Hardy, and then like, you know, Hardy turned heel and it was him behind, you know, Abyss attacking RVD or something. I thought that they did a good job with that. But I didn't like the whole like, at first they were not having Hardy versus RVD, you know, because Bischoff wouldn't allow it or something. But they really didn't do like a good job building up like RVD versus Matt Hardy. Like, they should have had Matt Hardy been like, you're never gonna fight my brother, you gotta get through me first, or whatever. I'm gonna kick your ass. And then RVD eventually should have wrestled him. Then, you know, he lost the first time to him, but then he beat him the second time. But they should have put more, like, behind that. And then when they eventually had the world title matchup, it would have been more, like, interesting, I think. But the other thing, too, though, they should have put this title match on a paper. They could have invested in the storyline a little bit. They could have had, RVD like brag about how Jeff Hardy has never defeated him ever. So him getting the world title match would have been easy, just like that, you know. And then at the pay-per-view, Hardy would have defeated him, but you know they could have gave this. I mean, the main event was good, was okay. I mean, like, you know, it had some time and whatnot, but the pay-per-view would have had more time. They maybe could have made it like a no DQ or something. So I just felt like they kind of threw this storyline away. So I guess I didn't like that. But match-wise, it was okay. It was back and forth, and then the finish of it was like basically like Hardy and RVD like shoved Hardy like into the corner where Anderson was, and it wasn't like a rep bump, and Anderson was kind of glaring at Hardy, and then Hardy like low blows RVD and hits him with the twist of hate and pins him. And then after the matchup, Anderson gives Hardy a mic check, and then RVD's like, you know, what's up with that? You didn't see that low blow? And then Anderson gives him a mic check, so it'll be nice to see like maybe like a little feud between all three of these guys, you know, triple threat kind of style or something. So that'll be pretty cool for the most part. So overall, if I had to give Impact like on a grade on the 1 to 10 scale, I'd give it like a 5. It had a lot of good stuff, and it had the stupid shit,